Hey guys, today is September the 10th of 2022. And I don't know what to call this video. This might be just like a rant. Just things that just kind of ponder in my mind as I sleep or wake up early in the morning. It's like 5:30 a.m. I kind of get my better thoughts early in the morning when I wake up. I just kind of want to show you what's on my mind. So I'm assuming this is a wave 5. But the Elliott wave calculator here is assuming that probably maybe we're working on another wave higher. So just in case that I'm wrong, and this is a wave 3, we're going to go to a 4 and then go into a 5. But if not, if a wave 3 is higher, there's a target of 3367. And if that's not wave 3, a projection wave 3 could be 41. And however this gets resolved in regards to Elliott wave theory, possible target for a wave 5 will be $46.79. There's anything higher? No, that's about it. So that's like the bullish forecast. That kind of lines up with everything you see going on the news and on analysts and, YouTubers. Very bullish price action. This is going to be void. This is not really wave 5. We're going to be pushing higher because the fundamentals are lining up. Everything is just lining up. Japan restart, 10x. I seen a title YouTube video. So that's all in this package going up. Now, I'm from the school of thought that, one, the Elliott wave is confirming a wave 5. As of now, this always could change. Nothing, it's concrete. But we're going with what we have as of now. This is a wave 5. The weekly cycles already are pointing down. That's another thing that I watch that could stall this rally to the upside. But you never know. Maybe it's not going to work. Maybe it's going to continue pushing higher. As some analysts say, the times are different now. This time is different. That's the phrase. This time is different. And there's other things. The Gann, Gann theory. I was going over his courses and reading and just trying to make sure that I understand what he says and that I'm applying it right. Because sometimes you could, do Gann theory and apply it wrong and think you're doing it right. And then, things, even though you still could use Gann theory, sometimes things just go against you. It's just the way it is. Just trying to make sure. And I kind of got a better understanding of some of the techniques he was talking about just because I was, giving it more time to sink in and, practicing it on paper and absorbing it more and back testing it. So one Gann theory says that this is now the time where, a correction will be coming in, which kind of lines up with the weekly cycles, which also kind of lines up to this is a probability of wave 5. So there's like 3 things already that are confirming that as of now, which is wave 5 up here, around this time. The weekly cycles pointing down confirms that, this would be an ABC correction, but that hasn't happened. And then thirdly, Gann's theory says that now, we're in that time frame where a correction will come in. Now, all this remains to be seen because you can see that prices have not pulled back. And as of right now, are pushing higher or kind of sideways, kind of grinding. I say grinding higher. The next thing is other techniques that I use again. That shows, I call it the cause and effect. Gann says that once you find the cause and the effect, what affects the stock market, you could probably ride that wave for a while. And I found one, and it's been working really well. And that one was indicating 9/11 for a possible turning point. You know, when I say 9/11, sometimes it could work out that it could be that day where it just hits a high and it turns down. But most of the time, what I've seen is that from that date, from that time on, things will start slowly dwindling down. So in this case, 9/11, I think on my last video I said it was Saturday. It's really Sunday, and then from Sunday on, which Monday the markets will open. In theory, using this technique, and I'm not gonna say this technique is always gonna work, forever. But from what I've seen the last, couple of months and different swing points, that technique has been very accurate. So what I'm looking for, and if these calculations and if this technique is going to work out, is that from Sunday on, something's going to happen where it's kind of either going to stall. I don't know what it's going to be. If it's a news event or if it's the Fed or whatever's going to happen, it's going to start stalling and doing a change of trend down, which will line up with a lot of the clusters that I've been seeing, like the wave 5, the weekly cycles going down, Gann's theory of the year of the correction. All those little things will start confirming it, but as of right now, it's not really look like it's happening. And then you look at all the other indicators and everything, like short-term price action above the cloud on the weekly and on the daily linear regression channels all pointing up. So there's a lot of things that, look very bullish. As you can see right here, linear regression channel pointing up. There's a couple of targets here. This is a very sell area right here, anywhere between 30-48 around there. And if it could close above 31.11, then chances are this could probably be a next target up here, 34.24. I remember last time I did, it was a target of like 35, somewhere around here, but we never got that. And that was when we were here and it stalled. And that could be in the cards also. And then using Elliott wave, you can see that. These are possible wave 3s and a possible wave 5. So if I am wrong and Cameco, price action is going to do its thing, this is all for the bulls right here. So here's one thing I wanted to show you. I don't want to make this video too long. This is from Jesse Livermore. The stock market is never obvious. It is designed to fool most of the people most of the time. You ever heard of that saying, everyone is on one side of the boat? This is one thing I came across, Bob Farrell's 10 rules. So I kind of thought it was pretty cool and interesting. One of his rules is markets tend to return to the mean over time. And then he goes over all this stuff, price oscillations and everything. It always returns to the mean. Excess in one direction will lead to an opposite excess in the other direction. This kind of makes me think of Gann's theory right here. The opposing forces. There's always a balance and an equilibrium of things. And we've been going up on Cameco since 2020, March 18th. And Gann's theory says that, now things could possibly turn, and from this time forward. So can, Cameco continue going up? Yeah, it could continue going up. I'm not going to rule it out. But this is something interesting to keep in the back of your mind. Excess in one direction will lead to an opposite excess in the other direction. Then he shows you some charts and stuff like that. His third rule is that there are no new eras. Excesses are never permanent. There are no new eras. Excesses are never permanent. Shows you the chart. Up over 1,000% and then down over 90. Some say, mate, well, you know what? We're in the early stages of the uranium bull market. So yeah, you know, it's gonna, you know, and I believe that's the case. But I think even within this time frame, things, you know, should balance out in regards to, you know, the momentum. And I think in the future, yeah, we will probably hit something like what you see here in this chart. And I don't think we're there yet, but I feel like there has to be some kind of, you know, up and down, you know, within cycles where things will balance things out, where not everything is, you know, extreme to one, you know, side or one direction. Because then if it's that case, then it's going to be like a massive crash. And so far we're in the early stages, you know, we're 2 years and change into this. So, you know, I could see things kind of, you know, balancing out, and then we continue another couple of legs up, but price action has to confirm that. And that's going to take some time. His fourth rule is exponential, rapidly rising or falling markets usually go further than you think, but they do not correct by going sideways. So that's interesting too. So sometimes you think, you know, which could be in this case where I think, you know, where this is a wave 5, exponential, rapidly rising or falling markets usually go further than you think. So yeah, so if I'm wrong and that 32.49 of April 13th is not the wave 5, then it's going to push higher. That's why I was telling you these are other wave counts where, you know, Cameco will even go higher, which, you know, that's also a case that you cannot rule out. As you can see, like these, where it even got extended, and then you got this big sharp pullback. So, you know, we could be here. I don't know. Maybe we could be here, or maybe we're here, and this is like a wave 5, and then Cameco just, you know, whatever happened, news events, we just explode even higher and hit maybe 45, 40, around there, 35, $50. You never know. Maybe retest a high, and then, you know, maybe not this big pullback, but maybe a correction, and then resume the leg higher. I don't know. We'll see. Number 5, the public buys the most at the top, which is very true, and the least at the bottom. So people that got in around, you know, 2020, 2021 are pretty good. They don't have to worry about this volatility, but there's a lot of them buying into it now, which is, this is very true. You can read all this stuff here. Number 6, fear and greed are stronger than long-term resolve. Very, very true. There's a panic, successful test of prior low, then it goes up. 7, markets are strongest when there are broad and weakest when there are narrow to a handful of blue chip names. 8, bear markets have 3 stages: sharp down, reflexive rebound, and the drawn out fundamental downtrend. This is the stages. So you probably hit a high, hit a flush down. This is probably, you could kind of, I mean, if I'm like kind of overlay on Cameco, it's kind of weird because this is not like an ABC correction. So maybe we're here. Let's say this is April 13th high. And this is like the ABC correction. And now we're retesting high. And this is the sharp down, which hasn't happened yet. This is what I was looking for, the ABC correction. And then this is the reflective rebound. Those are the three phases. I feel like maybe we're on phase one where we're retesting that high. And if we could take that high out, then, you know, it's going to go higher, which confirms some of his rules here. But if it doesn't, and we close or we kind of stall or go sideways and then flush down, then I can see these three phases playing out. Number 9, when all the experts and forecasts agree, something else is going to happen. That's very interesting. That's what kind of made me think about, you know, everyone leaning on one side of the boat. When all the experts and forecasts agree, something else is going to happen. This rule fits with the Farrell's contrarian streak. So there's a lot of people. And then, you know, number 10, bull markets are more fun than bear markets, which is very true. I'm with that. So, you know, one of the things I did was I typed in uranium and I put a filter of just 1 month, just to lock it in, just what's been happening recently. So I don't get like a year's thing. You can see that everything is very, you know, very, very bullish just by the titles. Price discovery, incoming, uranium shales will 10x, Japan is back. You get uranium exposure. When will the uranium boom happen? This is it. An explosive uranium bull market. Stocks breakout. And it just continues. It continues. This guy right here, this guy's the big gangster. Rick Rule. But he says all mines have big risks, but only big mines will make you big money. And you know, it goes on. Yeah, it's just very leaning towards one side of the boat. You know, it continues. Parabolic move. Get in early. Uranium to 100. So let's go to the chart here. And this will probably be my last. Here it is. I had to make these dates skinnier so you could kind of see the price action of the candles. I had a couple of dates here. And over here is at 32.49, which I'm assuming, and you know, if I'm wrong, but wave 5. So right here, this is all supply zone. All of this right here, supply zone. We're in there, it's going to be choppy. I had, let's open this up now back so you guys know what I'm showing you. I had a couple of dates. So the 8th, 18th, August 30th, September 6th. September 6th was the date that I had it indicated for volatility. You can see here was like a very, if I move this date here, you look at the, well, I got it locked. Just by looking at the candle itself, you can see that it was a nice spike and then it went down. The volatility increased on that day. Then the last day I have, which is the 9th and the 12th. And the reason I put 9th is because, and it's going to lean on the 12th, is because the date that I'm using is that 9/11 date. Now from here on, this is where, if my calculations are correct, you know, Cameco could still retest, kiss that high, even pierced it above, maybe close above that high, but it will have to come back within a week or two to still confirm that a possible, you know, down streak down will play out. What will void this forecast and be like, you know what, this is all wrong and we're going to go even higher, is that we close above 32.49 and continue pushing higher and not even looking back, then one, this is not a wave 5 at 32.49, April 13th. That's not a wave 5. A wave 5 using Elliott wave is going to be pushing higher. And in Gann's theory, it doesn't say exactly that, it has to turn here. It could even continue pushing higher. But it gives you a time frame where it will probably be turning soon. And this is where we're at right now. From April 13, it will be turning soon. But is it going to turn? Well, we have to wait and see. It could still push higher, which gets more into the danger zone, that it could eventually turn in the future. But right now, this is where we're at. So this is what I'm looking at. So if my calculations are right, it won't take out 32.49, and it'll stall somewhere around here, or even if it pierces it above it. But what I'm looking for is that even if it sticks its head out, it's going to go back in, go sideways, or then go lower. That's what I'm looking for the next, 2 or 3 weeks. If my calculations are correct. If it's wrong, then what's going to make it void is that we're going to close above 32.49 and not look back and go all the way maybe to 45 or 50 bucks and just make higher highs and higher lows and just keep chucking along higher. Then all of this is wrong. The weekly cycle one is not affecting it. The wave 5 Elliott wave target of April 13th is void because that's not wave 5. So that's 2. And then Gann's theory, the year of the correction, it's not playing out yet. Because Gann also in his theory says that, he gives it even more time for it to play out, just in case if it's not playing out on this time frame. And he has a limit where it should definitely stall from there. But I'm just taking it one step at a time. So those are the things that I'm watching. And here are other dates of other calculations, and I think other not YouTube or Twitter guys have been looking also. And is the week of the 15th, or the date 14/15. And this is another one I have, which is the end of the month of the 26th. So even though we'll push higher, then this is going to be one you want to watch. And if we continue pushing higher, we hit 45.50, then somewhere around September 26th, then this is the last one. And we know that September is very bullish also for Cameco. And then, from October on, if it's still chugging along higher, then, it's Cameco's doing its thing, and price action is king, like I've always said. And we have to reassess and then, reevaluate where we at and then take it from there. But this is what I'm looking for this week coming up. So if you are bullish, just keep raising your stops. If you are cautious, this is a week. Actually, this is like the whole month you want to keep your eyes on Cameco, because this is going to be very important. A lot of moving parts happening. Could we retest that high? Yeah, it's very possible. It's in projection to retest that high. Markets sometimes don't like to go down. It all depends, but they like to retest things before they decide to go down or wherever they want to do. And this is the retest stage. So looking forward to see how we close next week, what the price action is. Definitely the price action here is interesting. But I would like to see definitely what Monday and that week, next week, holds for Cameco in regards to upside. Are we going to break out above 32.49 and continue going higher? That's the question that remains to be seen. Hopefully you like this video. I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on Cameco using double Gann price and time. Technical analysis.